Today we're going to dive into 4 things that are killing your unit and what you can do about it. Stay tuned. Have you ever been to a council or district event and you look over and you see this unit, this pack, this troop, this crew, whatever it is, and they've just seemed to have all of it together? Like their kids are all in their same uniforms, everybody's looking happy and running around, having a good time. And then you look over at your unit and maybe it's just smaller, like maybe it only has 3 or 4 kids, and you're wondering, what can I do about this?
Sir, here to learn.
This is something that comes up quite often with people. Is there something that I could do to help out my unit? And what am I doing that is causing my unit to shrink and maybe not grow as much as it should have been?
I ask your advice.
So we've got 4 items that we're going to want you to do, and we're going to want you to do them in a specific order. That way each builds off of the other.
Make it so.
The first thing that's most likely killing your unit is that you don't have a plan. Specifically, you do not have an annual plan. Every unit, every pack, troop, or crew should have an annual plan. Now, an annual plan is going to look different dependent upon if you are a Cub Scout unit, if you're a Scouts BSA unit, or if you're a crew. Because Cub Scouts usually do their program year starting at the beginning of a school year and then running till about the end of summer, and then Scouts BSA normally goes the entire year. It's important to have an annual plan because you need to know where it is that you are going.
Course plotted and laid in, sir.
Not in a philosophical way, but actually in a literal way of where it is that you want to go. Are you going to go to summer camp? What events do you want to host? And do you have the budget for it?
No money. You mean you don't get paid?
Because you may find it difficult, near impossible, to jump onto a summer camp 1 month or 2 months out from the actual event. Which is why it's important for you to get together with your Key 3 and host an annual planning meeting. Trust me when I say that you'll probably spend a good couple of hours sitting down with your Key 3 and your different leaders, but it's very, very important because it allows you to plan out the entirety of your year, and you know exactly what's coming up and what you need to start preparing for.
That's sound advice at any time, Captain.
So if you don't have an annual plan, you just need to get one right away. If it requires canceling 1 or 2 meetings so that the adult leaders and the youth leaders can get together so you can plan out the remainder of your year, you need to do it. Because trust me, if you don't have an annual plan, you're just planning to fail.
Do you have any further advice, Counselor?
Now, there are a ton of different resources out there on the Scouts BSA website. I recommend that you go there, download what an annual plan looks like, and then go ahead and model yours after that. This next thing you're going to want to do is grab your council and your district annual calendar, so that way you can look at the events that are coming up. A good council and a good district will have those things out for the entirety of the year. My current council and district have things going out into the summer of 2025, which is obviously a whole year away.
Good advice, Commander.
You're going to want to have an annual plan so you can hand it out at our next recommendation, which is you should always be recruiting.
Join me, Riker.
There's a good chance that you're only trying to recruit once a year, or maybe at 1 or 2 different events. Maybe only at a JSN, a Joint Scout Night, at your local school, but you should be recruiting year-round. People move in at different points in the school year.
Got here as quickly as I could.
People don't know about scouting until they get to different points within the year, or maybe just nobody has asked them.
I joined on a dare.
Once you actually have a recruiting event, it's the best thing to be able to hand a brand new parent, who usually is the first barrier to scouting, to say, hey, here's our plan, here's everything that we're going to be doing for the year, and this is how much we normally budget for and how much you can expect to pay for it.
Plasma injectors are online. Everything's looking good.
Because once parents know that there's a plan laid out, it makes things a lot more predictable, and then they don't get as nervous about having their kids join the pack, or the crew, or the troop. And sometimes when they see it, they go, wow, I can actually get involved more as well. So that's an important thing. Make sure that you have your annual plan and that you're handing your annual plan out every time that you're attempting to recruit somebody.
What's next?
So if you don't know of any recruiting events or any events where you can be recruiting, you need to reach out to your unit commissioner. And if you don't know who your unit commissioner is, that's a bonus one. You need to figure out who that is. Your district should have a commissioner who's dedicated to recruiting and making sure that these events are set up appropriately. If for some reason you're not comfortable reaching out to them, a couple of different options that you have is join scout nights when you have brand new school years starting. Anytime that you do a community service project, make sure that your scouts are either in their uniform, if that's appropriate, or they're in a Class B shirt that has their name on it. And anytime that you're selling popcorn in front of wherever it is that you're selling popcorn, and you see a child with an adult, ask them, hey, how old is your son or daughter? Have you ever considered getting in scouts? Even if you are not within their area, you're still bringing somebody into the program at that point.
I'd like to join.
One of the final recommendations that you can do is help your kids earn their recruiting badge, which is having them reach out to their friends. There's a good chance that somebody in their class is interested in the scouts, or would be if they even know it existed. So sometimes you'll get these little cards from your district or from your council, and your kids are able to hand them out to their friends, and then they're able to come to the meeting and see what it's about. And hey, that's what we do here at this channel, is that we try to give out ideas and give out advice to help you have a great program year. If you really like what we're doing here, please give me a like and subscribe down below. Also, there are some Amazon affiliate links with some different recommendations, from books to different pieces of gear. If you purchase anything through those Amazon links, even if it's not the specific items that are down below, we do get a little bit of a commission to help grow this channel. With that, I really appreciate it, but we'll get back to the video right now.
I just wanted to thank you all for your support.
Number 3 of things that are killing your unit is that your scouts are bored.
Alright, that guy is super boring. Like, oh, I'm bored.
I mean, nobody wants to join a program and then be read to from a book. If your kids are not having a good time, they're not telling their friends that they're having a good time. And then sometimes they just don't want to come anymore. Or the parents see that, hey, I'm bringing my kids this 1 hour a week thing, and then maybe a couple of times on the weekends to sell popcorn or something, but the kids aren't engaged. You want to make sure that your program is robust, that it's engaging, that you're getting out there and you're doing all sorts of different things.
Engage.
Now, a couple of different options that you could do with making your program more robust is, one, don't read from the book. I mean, I can't imagine how annoying this must be. All right, children, now gather around here. Today we're going to be looking at some sort of physical activity. And it says here that we need to be physically active for 30 minutes. And I think that we might be able to accomplish this if you all just meander around there in a circle.
Uncalled for.
That does not work. Trust me, especially with Cub Scouts, that will just immediately turn them off, and then they're having all sorts of problems and chaos. I also don't know why I went with the Southern Gentleman via, Foghorn Leghorn, but hey, it works, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. We recommend that you look at your local area and see if there's any sort of historic landmarks, if there's some cool trails that you can do, if there's any sort of National Park Service. We're spoiled out here in Northern Virginia because we have DC just north, and we have a lot of Civil War history around here. Later on, we're going to come out with a video about how you can use ghost stories to help teach your kids about history, so be on the lookout for that one. But you want to get your kids out there, you want to get them engaged and earning as many patches and things that they can do, because that's when they're going to have a fun time, that's when they're going to tell their friends, and that's when you're going to see an uptick in recruiting, and also you having more fun as well, because you get to experience these things with your kids. Number 4 of what's likely killing your unit is that you do not have a succession plan. Eventually, every scout grows up and moves out of the program. It's inevitable. And likely the adult who comes with them will go with them to that next program, or maybe they just stick around and become a commissioner for a while, but they leave the pack, they leave the troop, and they move into a different position. You need to have a succession plan. You need to have somebody in line to take over from you when it's time for you to leave.
I'm in command now.
Now, all this stuff should be outlined within your unit policy letter, and hey, that's a bonus one. If you don't have a unit policy letter, I'll put a link up here in the description for how and why you should have a unit policy letter. So hey guys, that's the 4 different things that are likely killing your unit. If you have found value in this video, please leave a like and subscribe down below. This has been Matt with the Roaming Scouter, and I'll see you out there.